वेलकम बैक टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल। इस वीडियो में हम एमएससी जूलॉजी फोर्थ सेमेस्टर का फर्स्ट पेपर न्यूरोफिजियोलॉजी एंड जनरल फिजियोलॉजी का टॉपिक कॉन्ट्रैक्टाइल एलिमेंट इन मसल्स फिजियोलॉजी का स्टडी करेंगे, जिसका इंट्रोडक्शन है। द फिजियोलॉजी ऑफ मसल इज एन एसेंशियल टॉपिक इन जूलॉजी as it deals with the functioning and behavior of muscle fiber, which are the fundamental unit responsible for movement in animals. Muscles are specialized tissue that enable movement by contracting and relaxing. The contractile element of muscle fiber are responsible for this process, and understanding this element is crucial for studying how animals move, respond and to stimuli, and perform various physiological functions. Definitions of contractile element. A contractile element refers to the component of muscle fiber that is primarily involved in contraction. It consists of protein filaments that slide past each other to shorten the muscle, producing force and movement. These filaments are mainly actin and myosin, which together form a structure known as sarcomere. These contractile units are repeated along the length of muscle fiber and are the key to muscle contraction. The process of contraction involves the interaction between this filament in response to a stimulus, such as the release of calcium ion. Structure of muscle fiber. Muscle fiber are long, cylindrical cells that are packed with contractile element. The main structure within a muscle fiber include myofibrils, sarcomere, sacroplasmic reticulum, T-tubules, and mitochondria. First, myofibrils. These are long thread-like structures that run the length of the muscle fiber. They contain the contractile protein, actin and myosin. Second, sarcomere, the basic functional unit of contraction. A sarcomere is the segment between two Z lines containing overlapping actin and myosin filament. Sacroplasmic reticulum, a specialized form of the endoplasmic reticulum that store calcium ion, which are critical for muscle contractions. T-tubules, extensions of the cell's membrane that allow electrical signals to travel deep into the muscle fiber. Fifth, mitochondria, the energy producers providing ATP needed for muscle contraction. Mechanism of muscle contractions. The contractions of muscle is highly coordinated and complex process that involve the sliding of actin and myosin filament. The key steps involved in the contraction of muscle fiber are: first, action potential generations; second, calcium release; third, troponin tropomyosin complex; fourth, cross bridge formation; fifth, power stroke; sixth, detachment and repetitions. First, action potential generation. An electrical signal, action potential, is generated by the nervous system and travel along motor neurons to the muscle fiber. Second, calcium release. The action potential reaches the sacroplasmic reticulum, which releases calcium ion into the cytoplasm of the muscle fiber. Troponin tropomyosin complex. Calcium ion bind to a protein complex called troponin, causing a change in its shape. This results in the movement of tropomyosins, exposing binding sites on actin filament. Fourth, cross bridge formation. The heads of the myosin filaments attach to the exposed binding sites on the actin filament, forming what is called cross bridge formation. Fifth, power stroke. The myosin heads pivot, pulling the actin filaments toward the center of the sarcomere, shortening the muscle's fiber. This step is powered by the hydrolysis of ATP. Sixth, detachment and repetitions. After the power stroke, the myosin heads detach from the actin and reattach to new binding sites further along the actin filament, repeating the cycles as long as calcium is present. Role of ATP in muscle contractions. ATP, adenosine triphosphate, is energy currency of the cell, is essential for muscle contraction. ATP is required for two main functions during contractions. First, cross bridge cycling. ATP is needed for the myosin heads to detach from the actin filament after the power stroke and reposition themselves for the next contraction. Second, calcium ion pump. ATP is also used to pump calcium ion back into the sarcoplasmic reticulum after contraction, which is necessary to terminate the contraction and prepare the muscles for the next action potential. Type of muscle fiber and contractile properties. There are three primary types of muscle fiber, each with different contractile characteristics. First, slow twitch fiber, type 1. This fiber contract slowly but are very resistant to fatigue. They are rich in mitochondria and rely on an aerobic metabolism for energy. Second, fast twitch fiber, type 2. This fiber contract quickly and are suited for rapid instance activities. They use an aerobic metabolism and fatigue more quickly. Third, intermediate fiber, type 2A. This fiber have characteristics of both slow and fast twitch fiber and can adapt to different type of exercise. Regulations of muscle contraction. The process of muscle contraction is regulated by the nervous system and involved two key mechanisms. First, neuromuscular junctions and second, motor unit requirement. Neuromuscular junctions, the point where a motor neuron meets a muscle fiber. The release of acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter at the neuromuscular junctions, stimulates the muscle fiber to generate an action potential. Second, motor unit requirement. A motor unit consists of a single motor neuron and all the muscle fiber it innervates. The force of muscle contraction increases as a more motor units are recruited. Importance of contractile elements. The contractile element of muscle fiber are essentially for any movement that require force, whether it's movement of limbs, breathing, or heart contractions. Muscle fiber contract to produce movement. Without this element, animal would be unable to perform basic functions like walking, flying, or even digesting food. In addition to movement, the contractile properties of muscle fiber are important in maintaining posture, stabilizing joints, and generating heat during physical activity. Disorder involving contractile element. Disorder that affect the contractile element of muscles can result in various types of muscle dysfunction. Some common conditions include: first, muscular dystrophy, a genetic disorder that causes progressive weakening of the muscles. Second, myasthenia gravis, an autoimmune disorder where the communication between the motor neurons and muscle fiber is impaired, leading to muscle weakness. Third, tetanus, a bacterial infection that causes continuous muscle contractions due to the release of toxins that affect the nervous system. Conclusions. The contractile elements of muscle are vital for life and movement in all animals. By understanding the structure and function of this element, as well as the mechanism involved in muscle contraction, we gain insights into how muscle contribute to behavior, energy use, and overall physiology. Muscle contraction is not only important for voluntary movement but also for involuntary functions like heartbeat and digestion. Further research into contractile elements and their regulation will continue to reveal new insights into muscle health, exercise and digestion, and disease management. References: